Today we are going to discuss about performing operations on rational numbers. So let's proceed to adding fractions. So there are steps to follow in adding fractions. To add fractions, these are the three simple steps to follow. Number 1, make sure the denominators are the same. Step 2, add the numerators, put the answers over the denominator. Step 3, simplify the fractions if needed. Example, we have 1/4 plus 1/4. So as you can see, the two denominators are the same. So if the denominator are already the same, proceed to step number 2. So 1/4 plus 1/4. So that means 1 plus 1 over 4. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Then you have to copy the denominator, which is 4. For step number 3, we have 2 over 4. So since 2 over 4 is not yet simplified, we are going to simplify 2 over 4. So the answer will be 1/2. So simplify the fraction. The numerator and denominator are both divided by 2. Let's proceed to another example. So we have 1/3 plus 1 over 6. So step number 1, as you can see, they have different denominators, which is 3 and 6. So the denominators are different. We need to make them the same before we can add them. So 1/3, 1/6. So yung 3, gagawin nating 6. It is important that the denominators are the same before we can add them. So 1/3, ano ba ang ita-times natin sa 1/3 para maging 6 ang denominator niya? So we will multiply 2. So 1 times 2 and 3 times 2. So the answer will be 2 over 6. So as you can see, naging 6 na yung denominator. So 1/3 plus 1/6, we will change 1/3 into 2 over 6 so that we can easily add the two fractions. So step number 2, we will just add 2 plus 1 over 6. 6, we will just copy the denominator 6. Then the answer will be 3 over 6. For step 3, we will just simplify 3 over 6, which is 1/2. So the final answer for these fractions is 1/2. So let us proceed now to subtracting fractions. There are 3 simple steps to subtract fractions. Step 1, make sure the denominators are the same. Step 2, subtract the numerators, put the answers over the same denominator. Step 3, simplify the fractions if needed. So let us have example. So we have 3/4 minus 1/4. So for step number 1, as you can see, the denominators are the same. So we can now easily proceed to step number 2. So step 2, we will just copy the denominator and subtract the numerator. So 3 minus 1 over 4. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Then copy the denominator, which is 4. So step number 3, since 2 over 4 is not yet simplified, we are going to simplify 2 over 4. So the answer will be 1/2. Another example. So we have 1/2 minus 2/3. As you can see, they have different denominator. Since they have different denominators, we need to write 1/2 and 2/3 with the same denominator. To do it, we need to find their LCM or least common denominator. So multiples of 2. So yung 2, galing siya sa denominator ng 1/2. So ang multiples niya ay 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then let's have multiples of 3. So yung 3 ay galing sa denominator ng 2/3. So ang multiples ng 3 ay 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And as you can see, pareho silang merong 6. That means our least common denominator is 6. So our LCM is equal to 6. So we have 1/2 minus 2/3. So as you can see, magkaiba sila ng denominator. Yung isa 2, yung isa 3. So dapat gagawin nating 6 ang kanilang denominator kasi ang LCM natin ay 6. So ano ang imumultiply natin sa 1/2 para maging 6 ang denominator. So, i-multiply natin siya sa 3 over 3. So, 1 times 3 over 2 times 3. So, we have 3 over 6. Next is 2/3. I-multiply naman natin siya sa 2 over 2. So, 2 times 2 over 3 times 2. So, the answer is 4 over 6. So, as you can see, pareho na sila ng denominator. So, we can now easily subtract the two fractions. So, 1/2 minus 2/3. So, papalitan lang natin siya ng 3 over 6 minus 4 over 6. Then, proceed na tayo sa step number 2. So, copy the denominator, which is 6. Then, subtract 3 minus 4. So, the answer is negative 1 over 6. So, since negative 1 over 6 is already simplified, this is the final answer.